Thank you, everyone. So a little bit of a disclosure here. I am not from Seattle. I'm actually from Waterloo, Ontario in Canada. Yeah, Canada? Yeah? Okay. There's a few of us out there. Anyway, so Brett and Red actually asked me to come here. Even though this place is meant for Seattle tech startups, Thalmic Labs is an exciting startup that I hope that everyone will find it awesome. Anyway, I'm really happy to be here. So yeah, with that being said, my name is Chris Goodine. My Twitter handle is right here, and I'm a developer evangelist at Thalmic Labs. So what I want to do is I want to talk to you a little bit about what we do at Thalmic Labs, and then more specifically, what it is that I'm wearing on my arm right here, which is the Myo Armband. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about role models. So role models, I mean, everyone has one. It's the person you look up to, they give you direction and guidance, and ultimately they help you decide your course of action. So at Thalmic Labs, like everywhere else, we have a role model. The only thing that's kind of interesting is we all seem to have the exact same role model, and that is Tony Stark. So Tony Stark, I mean, is a badass. Like, he is probably one of the coolest guys ever. He is Iron Man, and he's a technological genius. But one thing that makes him really interesting is he has so many technology tools at his fingertips, and it's ultimately these tools that give him the superpowers. He doesn't naturally have any superpower abilities. So it's really interesting to take a look at these tools and kind of see what it is behind them and if they actually are magical tools. I mean, let's take a look at this image in front of us. You see Tony Stark looking through his Iron Man suit, and he has this information kind of overlaid in front of him, and that gives him insights, metrics, those types of things, and that helps him make better decisions. It makes him be a superhero. And some people would call this magic, but I like to call it augmented reality. I mean, this technology exists today in the form of Google Glass, the Epson Moverio, Meta Space Glasses is another one. And it's simply just taking digital content and overlaying it in front of you in the real world. So Thalmic Labs, we have nothing to do with augmented reality, but the point here is that technologies that Tony Stark is using do exist today, and if you look closely, you can start to see them in society. Here's another image from the movie, and right here it says natural interaction equals super productivity powers. So basically what we noticed at Thalmic Labs was that people, if we want to become super efficient, super productive, if we want to really shape the technologies of the future, we need to start thinking beyond the natural forms of input. You can see it in these sci-fi films, Iron Man, Minority Report, and a bunch of other ones. They really revolve around natural human interactions. So grabbing the digital content and manipulating it in front of you with your hands, this is the way of the future. This is the way things are going to go. So this kind of goes back to the whole role model piece. Like, we look at this as a company and we say, Tony, how the heck did you do that? Like, what do we have to do? What tools did you use to have this ability? And it's actually not that far out. This is actually something that we could potentially create. I mean, some of you probably know the Microsoft Kinect Leap Motion controller. These are solutions that do exist today that give people the ability to manipulate digital content with their hands. And they're great solutions, don't get me wrong. They're amazing for what they do. The only thing that is wrong with them is that they don't necessarily follow the trends of computing that we're starting to see these days. So if you take a look at computers, you go from desktop to laptop to smartphones to wearable computing. If you have a look at the evolution, the one key trend is mobility. Everything is moving to a more mobile space. So as we evolve, the solutions that we use need to consider mobility, because the computers in the future will not be rigid objects that you sit in front of. You would take them on the go with you. So when we look at this image, we want to find a solution that will give you these superpowers while still maintaining mobility. And that brings me to the Myo Armband. So this is Thalmic Labs' first product. The device itself, which I'm wearing on my arm right now, is a gesture controller that uses your muscle activity in your forearms as well as the motion of your arms to control digital content. So to break that down a little bit, muscle activity, we simply use a very old technology, electromyography, EMG sensors. This technology has been around in the past. You've probably seen it in a medical setting. If a user had an electrode on their chest monitoring their heart activity, that is an EMG sensor. And basically what that does is it looks for the small...
You're going into Q&A. You need to get to the drone.
Okay, anyway, it can do amazing things. This is one of them. So, by snapping my finger, I can take off, and assuming this thing can fly, I'll try not to hurt anyone, I swear. Thank you. Questions?
Two questions. They need to be the best questions in the house.
I guess the question that laid down, I saw you had that tablet in your hand. How much of that is the tablet?
Okay, so yeah, the tablet communicates via Wi-Fi to the AR drone. The Bluetooth radio on this device communicates to the tablet. So that's how the communication works. Is it?
Any interface stuff on tablet.
That's right. That's right. We simply just worked with the AR drone app and we just built in the Myo integration on top of it. Yeah. Yep. That's right. Yeah. It is fun. It is really, really fun. That's one of the biggest things. I mean, you can keep your head up. You can use your hands and control it. That, this is where we're moving. It's not about this anymore. It's about this. So, yeah. Correct. So the sensor on here is called a 9-axis IMU. It has a 3-axis accelerometer, a 3-axis gyroscope, and a 3-axis magnetometer. So those three, the sensor fusion between those three sensors gives us the orientation data, and that's how we have sort of motion control. Yeah.
You can use this technology with Bluetooth and receive on toll bridges with the wave of your hand if you're connecting to a mobile payment app. That's an application.
You should join our developer community.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, just for the sake of time, let's hear for Thalmic Labs.
Thank you.